Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to yet another Track Titan community race stream. We're here in Mugello in Italy, and we are racing the Audi R18 e-tron Quattro, better known, I guess, as the Audi LMP car. Joining me, as ever, in the commentary booth is Spitzlam. How are you doing today?
Really fine. Hello, guys.
We've got plenty to look forward to today here at Mugello, as I said, in Tuscany. 5.2 kilometers of track, 15 corners, up and down, up and down. There's so much elevation change here. It's a beautiful track. It's a beautiful circuit, and well, we'll jump straight into it, and we can have Mr. Max Newt guide us round a full lap of the track in this monster liveried Audi R18. So here he is flying down the start-finish straight. There's a slight kink right and a slight kink left before the first corner, but you've got to get around that left hand and then straight line braking into the corner deep. A bit of a lock up there from Max Newt as he gets into the first corner, San Donato, round the hairpin into the right-hander of Luco, and then into Poggio Secco. The terrible corner pronunciations will return from both of us, I'm sure. Short little blast down a short straight here as we head into... I was at the wrong part of the second. That's the wrong corner names. No, it was the right corner names. We're into Maserati. There we go. And then down the hill. Sorry, I've got my stuff together. Into Casanova, into Savelli, through the left-hand compression there, keeping full throttle all the way around Arrabbiata 1 and 2. Ooh, a little bit of lift there from Max Newt 7. I thought that was a full throttle corner, it seemed to be for me, but maybe I was just slower than him. Down the hill once again into the Scarparia chicane, right-hander, a little bit of a throttle, back off the throttle again, and using all the exit curve behind Henry Comsi here as he heads down the, once more, just a tiny little straight, into the Biondetti, into the Correntiao hairpin. Round the corner, kind of avoiding the apex there, keeping a nice wide route, keeping all the aerodynamic devices flowing through the left-hand kink, through the right-hand kink of Biondetti 1 and 2, and then once again it's powering down to the final corner of the Piccini hairpin. Round the left-hander, Henry Comsi taking a suboptimal line there. Max Newt 7 keeping it nice and even all the way around the hairpin. Like I said, keeping the wind flowing through the aerodynamic devices, keeping the car planted to the ground. It's a long blast down the start-finish straight across the line. Max Newt 7 puts in a time of 1:32.309, and that does put him on provisional pole. But that's obviously provisional because we are only a few minutes into qualifying right now. Mugello, it's a beautiful track. What do you like this track, Spitzler?
Oh, it's definitely great with the elevation. It's like a roller coaster. As Lando would say, it's a roller coaster.
It's
what I don't like about Mugello is the in corner names.
They are very, very Italian corner names, these ones, and I am not an Italian speaker. I am not as well. Never learnt Italian in my life, never spoken it. I might do better with Spanish, but it's not Spanish, so it makes no difference either way.
I've been to Italy, but I don't know a single word.
You have drank the water of the Italian people, and you do not know how to speak their language, Spitzlam. This is disgraceful.
They didn't teach me, it's their fault.
Well, it is. It should be.
You gotta do it or yourself.
You say that it should be mandatory.
Nobody cares.
It's true. Italians love their language and they love to keep it secret, apparently. According
Just
to us, evidently not, because everyone else speaks Italian, just knows. 22 drivers have joined the server today. An interesting mix of pings. We'll see if any internet problems kind of cause some issues, but all of our main championship contenders are indeed here today. Ryan Skywalker, Max Newt 7 and Henry Comsi, the top three that are duking it out, are all here. 5 points separate Ryan Skywalker from Henry Comsi for second and third, and then it's only 36 points between Ryan Skywalker and Max Newt at the top of the table. Just behind them, there's a bit of a battle going on for the best of the rest between Michelle Rodriguez, Brigido Hernandez, Keith Holt, El Ripo potentially getting a sniff in there as well. I mean, it's all to play for. It's very early in the season. We've got...
And what about the returning contender of Ericsson Bandera?
Very true. Mr. Ericsson Bandera is back today after a significant absence from the last few races. It's good to see him back on the grid, and well, hopefully he has a lot better luck than he did last time round. Because last time round he got like I think it was a second place finish, and then got taken out in the second race. So hopefully this time for him that doesn't happen, and he can kind of shake up the title fight a little bit, because we don't want Max to run away with it, and we didn't want to curse him, but last time round, Max did not have a good time at Alton Park, did he?
No, he did not, but it seems that Mugello and the LMP1 cars are settling him very well. Just flying through these Italian mountains, actually. The Tuscany is one of the only flat areas in Italy. So it's actually disgraceful almost to call it a mountain, but...
It is. Well, compared to the rest of Italy, this is pretty flat, but this is, I mean, in a race car, this, like you said before, this is a roller coaster. It's up and down and up and down, and it really messes with you, especially when you're trying to brake and stuff. You can easily lock at your brakes, you can easily understeer, especially into this corner, especially into corners like Casanova and Savelli, them downhill and uphill compressions. It's just, but sometimes, equally, the camber of the corners and the way that the car just sticks to the road with the change in altitude can make it, well, very fun to drive, and it makes it very sticky. The car's sticky.
That's what makes F1 cars so fun at Spa. It's fast, flowing, it's perfect.
Exactly
You have the
that.
same thing with these LMP1 cars. It's great. You don't want them to race on a flat surface. I am actually looking forward to the 6 hours of Spa. I'm not sure if they already been, but I'm looking if they weren't, because I don't remember the date that they are in. But I'm looking towards the 6 hours of Spa. I'm not sure when they are.
I'm not sure when it is, but that will be a bloody brilliant event, like you say. In these cars, and of course, I mean, in the GT cars, it's less spectacular, but the LMP cars certainly put on a show at these kind of changing altitude tracks. 2 minutes left for the drivers on track. We've been following Max New all the way around because he is flying off at the front, like you said, Spitzlam. He's currently got 4.5 tenths between himself and his closest rival, Henry Comsey. Ryan Scalker not able to get a word in edgeways now. He's just been dropped down to 5th position thanks to a fast lap from R18 Mandera. He's 8.8 tenths behind Max New right now. So really not on the pace currently, Ryan Scalker, in qualifying, which is a surprise, as in the hot lap challenge, which has been running all week. Of course, these drivers have been practicing, getting the laps in and getting the practice for the race. Ryan Scalker did win the hot lap challenge for the week. He put in a fair few laps and managed to pip Max New and another driver I don't quite remember the name of, but they aren't here. But they were in 2nd position. But yeah, Ryan Scalker pipped them to the top spot there, and he's leading the hot lap challenge championship with that, I believe. Or is it? He will be after this round's results are confirmed. He was 2nd place after Alton Park.
Okay, so I found it. It's this weekend.
6 hours of Spa is this weekend.
It's this weekend.
That's
and
bloody good timing from you.
On Thursday, there's the first practice session. On Friday, 2nd, and the 3rd as well. And both qualifying sessions, and on Saturday, on Saturday, it's the race from 1 o'clock CET.
Well, there you go. It's the second best motorsport event of the week, behind this, of course. Spa 6 hours. No, they're definitely better than F1 still. Miami GP. We'll see.
It will hurt. It will hurt. That's what
Ryan Skywalker jumping into pole position with a flying lap of a 1:31.521. That puts him 3.4 tenths above Max New 7. What a lap from Ryan Skywalker there. He's going to have time for one more lap if he can improve on it this time round. The checkered flag just falls now, which means that the last driver across the line will be Dennis Bosman, as he's just come through. So has Max New 7, Henry Comsey, R18 Mandera, or Dennis Bosman got anything to say about it? I think they're the main the main contenders to take pole away from him this time round. Eric and Max are in a train right now, heading down the hill just ahead of Ryan Skywalker. Michelle Rodriguez is coming across the line. He's going to put in a lap time, not improving. He's going to sit in 7th or worse. Henry Comsey is just coming round to finish his lap very shortly. He's in Biondetti 1 and 2. He's heading through the left-hand, right-hand. That's not an ideal line for Henry Comsey there, and I think, yes, he is slowing down. So Henry Comsey either satisfied. Oh, crashed, did he?
Someone. I don't know who was before him, but he crashed. Ryan into the pit lane, doesn't want to get booted from the server.
Yeah, smart choice from Ryan there with his recurring game issues. Doesn't want to push his luck, doesn't want to risk getting kicked from the server. So, here we go. Can R18 Mandera make a change to the top of the table. He's had 2 green sectors so far. He's on a flying lap. Let's see if he can improve behind him. Max New 7's not going quite as fast this time around. Ericsson Madera crosses the line, puts in a lap time. Oh, but 1:31.567. He's only 4/100ths of a second away from Ryan Skywalker, and he plants himself firmly between the 2 main title contenders right now, Ryan Skywalker and Max Newt 7. Max not able to improve his lap time, so he's going to have to settle for 3rd position. And Henry Comsey, like we said, pulling into the laps after a crash earlier on for 4th. Ericsson Madera there causing the chaos, bringing the chaos. It's the Zumanderinator, but in a good way. Dennis Bosman crossed the line. He's the last driver, so it looks like we are going to get ready for a race, and Ryan Skywalker is going to lead us from pole with Ericsson Madera. With that flying last lap, he's going to take us from 2nd, joining Ryan Skywalker on the front row of the grid. And then behind, let's see if we can get to them. Ericsson Madera joining Ryan Skywalker on the front row. Then Max Newt 7 lines up directly behind Ryan Skywalker. Let's see if we can get alongside and inside him before the first corner. It's 2 Finns on the 2nd row because Henry Comsey joins Max Newt 7 alongside him. And then Dennis Bosman coming in 5th position just alongside Bathtub to round out round 3. Michelle Rodriguez on round 4 with Bynart alongside him. Then it's Jimmy on row 5 alongside Ruan Rodriguez, and that's your top 10 for the race. As we are getting ready to go, the engine notes are starting to just get a little bit excited. The drivers are putting some foots on the pedals. They're just getting themselves hyped up for the race. But here we go. 22 drivers on the grid, eagerly looking at the lights underneath the sign for Mugello circuit. All 22 drivers got the engines rising. They're going to get into gear and they're going to drop the clutch. Oh, and it's a bad start for Ryan Skywalker, but it's an even worse start for Ericsson Madera there. He's an absolute shocker. He's dropped back multiple positions off the line, and the Max Newt 7 is bumping and barging with Ryan Skywalker down the start-finish straight. Henry Comsey, big mover, up from 4th position, has managed to get himself into 1st before the first corner has even come. Ryan Skywalker with that dodgy start drops down in 2nd position. Oh, and he's got a tank slipper on, and Ryan Skywalker's been sent round at the first chicane. Ryan Skywalker in the grass, so Max Newt 7 moves up into 2nd position just behind Henry Comsey. Bynart also big mover up into 3rd. Oh, Ryan's been crashed into once again. He's on the grass, he's all over the shop, and he's getting back on the track before the 2nd chicane. There's drivers littering the track, but Henry Comsey, the biggest winner of it all, comes from 4th position up to 1st before the first corner even arrives. What did you see, Spitzlam?
It smells like weed. There's been a large crash at the first time in the back. 1 car on top of each other, and then Isaac got sent into the wall hard. It's carnage. I saw carnage. I am. I'm glad that this is an online race. Otherwise, I think we'd have some fatalities.
It sounds like it was a crazy crash further back there. I didn't quite capture on the cameras. Eric's had a spin.
Making a mistake.
He's gone into the gravel.
Gravel traps.
And he now drops behind Ryan Skywalker. His presence scats out Triffys, who goes off the track by no reason at all. But then Ericsson Madera, making a mistake into the hairpin, going all over the gravel, and he's dropped himself down into 14th position. Ryan Skywalker managed on his comeback drive. He's up into 10th position. Kaz, he got more in him to get himself up onto these drivers ahead of him. There's 2 drivers battling.
I think we should focus on the battle of the Finns up in the front, into the second corner of Luca. Maxon is blown away from the first turn into Poggio Secco, and Maxon is almost far away for Henry Comsey to not catch him.
Yeah, the move has been made. Was that move into the first corner? I just missed that one.
Yeah, it was a move into the first corner. If I'm not sure, if I saw right, Max did an Albon around Henry Comsey into the first corner.
There you go, Max
in the
7.
same corner as Albon, actually.
He licked the stamp and sent it right around Henry Comsey, and it's 2 Finns up at the front, but Henry, dropping behind Max 7, but Henry's going to want to get past Max because Henry needs to do everything in his power to close this championship gap up at the head of the field. If they allow Henry to run away with this, he's going to run away with the championship because we know what kind of pace he's got in this car as he's demonstrated from the qualifying. But that's not going to help Henry, going all over the gravel on the hairpin. And now Dennis Bosman's going to come up and he's going to come past Henry Comsey. Henry Comsey's slowing. Why is Henry Comsey slowing? Henry Comsey's stopping on the track. His car's broken down. Look at that black smoke spitting out from the engine, and he's had a complete mechanical failure there.
I don't have high enough graphics to see the smoke. Oh no, he's on track.
He's back going again. I have no idea what just happened to Henry Comsey there. I don't know whether that was mechanical damage because there was black smoke spitting out of his car, or if that was just a physical thing where his wheel maybe disconnected, something like that. But Henry Comsey, all the way from first to second.
Focus right here. It's Bafta, Michelle Rodriguez, and Binar. Michelle sending it down of... No, Bafta sending it down of Michelle Rodriguez into turn 1. Keeping his distance, trying to keep the third position, trying to keep the podium from Michelle Rodriguez. We know that Michelle is a fast driver, but Binar is a fast driver from Scotland as well. I know who can win this. This can be a long fight. I don't know if the tires can survive this. If they lock up every time into turn 1, we might see a puncture.
That's true, that's true. These drivers are going to be fighting on the edge and they're going to be testing these tyres limits. And like you said, there was a three-way battle there going crazy. These drivers pushing all they can, but well, for how long? They've spread out a little bit now as the battle kind of calms down. Ryan Skywalker not far behind, trying to find his way past Keith Holt as well. Oh, and Keith's got off the track, and that's going to allow Ryan Skywalker up the inside of the right-hander there. Ran easily through in the West McLaren livery. It's Ryan Montoya today in the West McLaren. Binar has managed to... Oh, who's that off? Michelle Rodriguez has gone into the gravel at the hairpin just before the Biondettis, and Ryan Skywalker is through on Michelle Rodriguez. So Ryan Skywalker back up into 5th position. What a recovery drive this has been from Ryan, but this does now open up a three-way battle between Eric Schmidera, Keith Holt, and Michelle Rodriguez. Michelle Rodriguez holding the inside line from Keith Holt there in the final corner. Keith Holt sticking to his lines, trying to get all the speed he can. Oh, and forcing Eric Schmidera a little bit wide there on the exit of the first corner, on the last corner, sorry. But Eric Schmidera is through cleanly, and he's now behind Michelle Rodriguez, tailing him down the start-finish straight. Michelle Rodriguez is getting all the slipstream he can behind Ryan Skywalker, trying to gain some positions back potentially on Ryan Skywalker if Ryan Skywalker can't run away with it for now. Behind Binar, he's 2.5 seconds away. He's got to put the foot down if he wants to catch up to them drivers up ahead of him. But Michelle Rodriguez still defending from Eric Schmidera as he head through the first chicane, down the short straight here into Materazzi, and Eric Schmidera is looking for a way past. He seems to have pace on Michelle Rodriguez there, so potentially the move is going to be made into the next few corners as he head over the crest and down the hill towards Casanova, down the right hand into the left hand compression of Savelli and back into the double Arabiatas. Michelle Rodriguez still holding his lines, trying to find a way to break free of Eric Schmidera and catch up to Ryan Skywalker, but Ryan Skywalker now already 1.3 seconds up the road from Michelle Rodriguez. What pace from Ryan Skywalker to try and catch the drivers in front and start this recovery drive. Oh, sorry. Finish this recovery drive, if you will.
Yeah, it's 8 minutes left. Well, 8 minutes 55. Circa 8 minutes 50.
Plenty of time for Ryan Skywalker to catch up to the drivers ahead of him and recover this race from everything to nothing to everything again. Michelle Rodriguez still staying ahead of Eric Schmidera for now, but for how long? They're going to head down the start-finish straight, and Eric Schmidera is going to be getting all the slipstream. Look at him, he's tailing Michelle Rodriguez. He's right up alongside him. The IKEA might be making a return. Eric Schmidera is alongside Michelle Rodriguez. He's been sent to the outside, but Michelle Rodriguez is defending that inside line with his life, and Michelle Rodriguez is going to try and hold it onto the inside. Eric Schmidera is going to try and use all the downforce he can to hold it around the outside. He's going to manage to pull it off. He's up the inside for the first chicane. Oh, and it's a beautiful maneuver by Eric Schmidera there to get himself up into 6th position ahead of Michelle Rodriguez. Up ahead of them, Binar has dropped behind Ryan Skywalker. Ryan Skywalker made the move look easy into the first corner on Binar. Then they were alongside just like Eric Schmidera and Michelle Rodriguez down the start-finish straight. And Ryan Skywalker now up into 4th position and hunting down Bathtub, who's in a career best 3rd position right now. Well, if it was to finish, it would be a career best finish. So Bathtub really making a name for himself here in the Audis. Binar, though, now is dropped onto the front of Eric Schmidera, and Eric Schmidera is going to be hunting him down, looking not for some Swedish meatballs. He's going to be hunting down some haggis tonight. He's not even Scottish. Binar's not even Scottish anyway. He's English. He just has a Scottish flag.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, the first race. Yeah.
Look,
but he can change that.
We can change his
we'll
flag.
Just screen that. We'll just screen him, and he will change it eventually. We just tell him how.
Keith Holt's dropping down the order. What's happened to him? Oh, it looks like he's had an off in the Corintiao hairpin. Real shame for Keith there as he drops down in 10th position, still within the points range. And the man behind him is Henry Comsey, who's still in 11th position on his recovery drive after he had some issues earlier on in the race. Still seems to be battling issues. I'm not sure if his car is damaged or anything. Have you seen anything on his car, Spitzlin?
Oh no, I don't. On Keith's car.
No, on Henry Comsey's.
On Henry's. Okay, I will look more carefully.
Have a look yourself. Michelle Rodriguez had a look at the inside of Binar and stuck the move through on him up into 6th position for Michelle Rodriguez, and he's now hunting down Eric Mandera to try and return the favour.
Keith into the first turn. That lost a bank position for him.
Oh, Keith loses out on points positions here as Isaac Gard and Henry Comsey both move through on him after spinning into the first corner. Keith struggling with his car. He's got a few issues.
Okay, Henry has a little bit of front damage, that's all. The guy in front of him has more damage and also has the Keith livery made by the one and only Ryan Skywalker.
Yeah, there are some funny liveries out there. Of course, provided by Mr. Ryan Skywalker, who is a fantastic livery maker for the Track Titan Community Race Series as well. Driver on the edge of the track there, TWG or Alt. I think he's rejoining the circuit in a minute. But Henry Comsey is hunting down Emerio. Oh my goodness me. Squalivato. And Binar and Michelle Rodriguez are chopping and changing positions. Oh, this is getting tight. This is a nice little battle that's brewing around the final corner, I believe it is, and they're heading on to the start-finish straight. Binar's managed to make the move, stick on Michelle Rodriguez. He's returned the favour. Up ahead of them, I think that is Ryan Skywalker. Up the inside of Bathtub into the first corner. Bathtub's got absolutely zero answers for Ryan Skywalker's questions there. And Ryan Skywalker moves up into third position. And Michelle Rodriguez has just done the exact same move on Binar behind him. Michelle Rodriguez back up into sixth position after Binar managed to return the favour earlier on. But it looks like Binar might have some better pace into the last few sectors because he managed to make the move on Michelle around the final corner. So big changes up at the front. Ryan Skywalker back up into a podium position, hunting down now Dennis Bosman, but he's 5 seconds away and with only 4.5 minutes left. I think he might be a little bit out of reach, and the man out of reach, of course, is Max Newt, who is up at the head of the pack, a second and a half ahead of Dennis Bosman. Dennis keeping him honest, not allowing him to get too far away with it, but still sticking with him.
I didn't know we had time to write rhymes while commentating a race, but okay.
I'm a rapper. I'm a born rapper.
You are a poet, mate. That's what you are. A poet.
Isaac Gard's managed to get himself up into a point scoring position ahead of Mr. Emerio. I'm going to call him that. In the Rockstar livery. That's a lovely livery, that one. Now Isaac Gard claiming a point this race if you can keep it on the track as he is right now. And the battles just beginning to take place. Oh, who's this? Eric Mandera on Bathtub out the final corner there. Bathtub was losing a bit of time out the final corner there. A bit slow on the exit curb, and Eric Mandera made it look easy up the inside of Bathtub, and now he's going to start trying to bring the fight to Ryan Skywalker and try and reignite the old rivalry. Is it going to come back to bite the pair of them round the first corner? They go. Ryan Skywalker not too far ahead of Eric Mandera, only about a second separating the pair of them. Is this going to come to a blows by the end of this race, Spitzlam?
In my bathtub, it's hungry for more and more points. And also, if you check, this is, you are never going to see this again as well. Bathtub has the cleanest car on the grid right now. You're not going to see that a lot.
No, you know what this does? This just goes to prove that if you just avoid accidents and drive the race that you need to drive, you end up in a good position. Bathtub is in 5th, which is a great position for Bathtub to be in. Look at the drivers he's around. These are some of the best drivers I've ever seen race a Assetto Corsa. And again, absolutely no offense to Bathtub. Bathtub's a great driver. He's much better than me. But
the freaking Vulcan ad for Track Titan, well, racing, but here you can watch these people progress in these races. You can make so many ads. And you can prove it works.
You can prove it works. It just goes to show what practice does and
look
how.
At these people.
Yeah,
he was at the back of the grid when he started. This man didn't even. I don't want to say that he didn't know what a tire is. He knew what a tire is, but he didn't know much about motorsport.
You're exactly right. It goes to prove the kind of difference that practice and track timing can make. If you just stick with it and you just keep learning racecraft, you just keep learning your racing lines. Bathtub going from a back marker up to, well, he was in third before just by sticking to
It
his
also
race. He's been
helps that
passed by these two
he
drivers.
raced. He also raced a lot in Gran Turismo, where the safety rating, and on ACC as well, the safety rating to get is such a pain in the ass. If I have to be honest, when for the first time I have raced on World Sim Series for fun, I never seen dirtier drivers in my life. Never. It was horrible. Worse than Track Titan.
Hey, look,
I didn't know
it
I
goes
didn't
to
know it could
prove.
be possible, but God.
No, that's the thing. If you just stick with your driving, you stick to clean driving, you end up in a better position. So people need to just learn that and stop trying to send audacious moves up the inside of everyone.
Well,
Actually,
when I'm karting, I just send it. I don't care. Fuck off.
well, karting is karting, and sends
Karting
are
is
part of
karting.
the
Nobody cares.
they're part of the
When
part
you're
of
racing
the
with
sport.
idiots, nobody cares. Just
Well,
send it.
just send it. That's what's going to be going through the mind of R18 right now, because he's in fourth position and he's hunting down Ryan Skywalker, and the gaps at the front have really come down. Ryan Skywalker's gained 2 seconds on Dennis Bosman ahead of him, but there's only 24 seconds left, so it's going to be this lap and one more for Ryan Skywalker to try and get onto the back of Dennis, and it's going to be this lap and one more for R18 to try and find a way past Ryan. He's within a second of him now, and he's really sniffing at his heels now, but Ryan just needs to stick to his lines and stop locking up the brakes into the corners, Ryan. You'll stay ahead of Eric. Lessons to be learned there. Just stick to your
Don't
racecraft.
damage your tires. What's so hard?
Exactly. These
Also,
tires.
what
They're
tires are they on?
slicks.
Softs? Slicks?
They're on mediums. Medium slicks.
Yeah, that's like softs in F1. It's the same, basically. For endurance, medium is soft, hard is medium, and super hard. If somebody remembers the Pirelli Rainbow of 2018,
Oh yes,
that are hearts.
we all remember the wide variety of
the good days.
back in the good old days.
God, so old.
Onto the final lap now, though, for all the drivers as they're coming across the line. I don't think anyone's been lapped yet. Henry Comsey stopped again. Henry Comsey's into the pits with another issue. I'm not sure what's happened to him there, but he's back into the pits.
Disconnected from the server.
He is out, so Henry Comsey calling it a day, and that's not going to do his championship hopes any good. This potentially is going to be his dropped round. So that leaves the two at the top then, Max Newt 7 and Ryan Skywalker. Ryan Skywalker's got this gap to Dennis down to 1.8 seconds, but that's not going to be enough because they're on the final lap now, and all he has to do is just defend from Eric Tremendera to try and keep all the championship hopes he possibly can alive, as Max Newt 7 is currently going to be running away with it. He's got a win so far, and we know that Max can carve through a field, especially in a car that he's comfortable with, as he is this one. So Ryan just needs to stick to his racecraft and keep Eric behind, and Eric seems to be messing up a little in these corners, but gaining a little bit on Ryan, just pushing it to the raggedy edge. But they're all gaining on Max. Max is just backing up the pack right now. He's losing time to Dennis Bosman. Is this a tactic? Maybe.
He doesn't care.
He just doesn't
He
care.
knows his biggest rival is out.
Ryan's his biggest rival.
No, it's Henry. Is it Ryan? It's
Ryan's
Henry.
in second position in the championship.
Was
and
it Henry?
Max Newt 7. Yeah, Henry's in
Oh, it
third.
is
Ryan's
Ryan.
in second. Max Newt 7's in
is.
first.
Oh, it is Ryan.
He's in first today. He's in first in the championship, and he's in first in the race, and he finishes the race
Eric.
in first. Dennis Bosman.
Eric
What's that?
flashing light. Eric on the final straight was flashing lights on Ryan.
He's
He was
letting out his
flashed.
frustration on him there. But yeah, Max Newt 7 finishes the race in first position with Dennis Bosman in second. Ryan Skywalker comes home in third position with one of the best recovery drives we've seen all season. Eric Tremendera finishes in fourth, flashing Ryan Skywalker to the line there. Bathtub finishes in fifth. What a great position for Bathtub to finish in. And like we've said, a testament to how much practice pays off. Michelle Rodriguez finishes in 6th position with Bainar in 7th. Isaac Gard comes home in 8th position, which is a good recovery from him after he had a serious incident on the first lap, with Raul Rodriguez in 9th position. And then it's Imerio Squalivato in 10th position with Keith Smells Like We, oh my goodness me, Pia Domenico, Alex Heller and Henry Comsey rounding out the 15 drivers that are left in the race. We're going to go on to the next session. We're going to see if Ryan Skywalker stays in the race. Henry Comsey's back for this one. Hopefully he's got his issues sorted out and we should have a decent race on our hands.
Well, that was a smoke show.
On the start line.
Yeah. But basically all the cars just, how they were drifting around, they all teleported onto the grids, drifting as well. So it was just smoke everywhere. God.
I think it's just a settled course.
My graphics drivers are going to kill me. My computer is going to kill me. That's fine.
But on the grid, Keith Holt lines up on pole position with Americo Squalivato alongside him on row 1. Ruan Rodriguez on row 2 alongside Isaac Gard with Bainar and Michelle Rodriguez just behind them. I'm going to have to cut myself short leading off the grid because there's 6 red lights that are just beginning to light up. Keith Holt leads us off the line. A driver has just disconnected behind him. I'm not sure who that was, but all the drivers that are left get started, and that's a lightning start from someone there. Bainar on the inside. Oh, and there's a crash on the start-finish line. I'm not sure who's involved in that one.
Henry spun on the start.
Henry spun on the start-finish line. Oh, well, Henry is out once again. Keith Holt leads into the first corner with Isaac Gard having a battle with Bainar for 2nd position. Bainar with a lightning start there. Ryan Skywalker is in 4th position right now. From all the way from 3rd to last up into 4th position with Eric Madera tight close behind. Bathtub also battling with them as up ahead Bainar and Isaac Gard go side to side, and Isaac Gard gets himself through on Keith Holt for 1st position. Isaac Gard into the lead. Ryan Skywalker up into 3rd position. Bainar has had an issue. Eric Madera has had an issue. 2 drivers dropping down the grid quickly there, but Ryan Skywalker is up into a podium position and he's going to be happy to see that because Max Newt 7 is down in 8th position and he's battling away with Pier Domenico there for 7th position. Oh, and Pier Domenico goes well off. Oh, and Max Newt 7's been collided with. He's been collided with twice. He's been collided with by Michelle Rodriguez. He's been collided with by Eric Madera. And Smells Like We is off the track as well. So the 2 monster drivers come together there, and Max Newt 7 drops himself all the way down into 13th position. This is not the start that Max Newt 7 wanted to hold and keep the iron fist on the championship. Keith Holt has been passed by Ryan Skywalker for 2nd position, and there's a battle going on for 4th position between Bathtub and Imerio here for 4th position, with Dennis Bosman also getting involved just behind them. Bathtub is battling with Keith Holt now for 3rd position. Bathtub really making the big gains in this Audi. He knows how to turn it on and he knows how to keep it going. And Bathtub is alongside Imerio now. Oh, and they're 4 wide down the start finish straight as Bathtub, Imerio, Keith Holt and Dennis Bosman all go side by side. Oh, and there's bumping and barging down the start finish straight as they go down the slight kink, and the man who's come out on top of it all is Bathtub up into 3rd position with a lightning move down the start finish straight, and Keith Holt's had a spin. He's had a semi-spin. He's in the wall. He's recovering now just ahead, just behind Eric Madera, and Bathtub is going to hold on to that 3rd position. Oh, and Eric Madera is going to rejoin just behind Keith Holt there. Dennis Bosman and Imerio battle it out and end up line astern in 4th and 5th position. What a move from Bathtub there, and Keith Holt throwing it all away with just a lack of traction out of the first corner there.
Lack of traction in an LMP car.
You wouldn't think it, would you? Oh, that's a bold
never
move.
Heard, oh, Dennis. That's
Imerio nearly took out Dennis there as Imerio took the completely the wrong line.
Yeah,
he took the completely the wrong line into Arrabbiata 1 and 2, and Dennis just managed to thread the needle and managed to keep him out of the way. And Imerio there gives Keith a little bit of a love tap, and Alex Heller moves through, and the pair on on Imerio.
Alex could teach him something. The bandits.
Alex is the baguette bandit.
Something the Italian.
Alex is French.
Yeah, and Imerio is Italian.
Oh well, there you go. It's the battle of the Central Europeans here, and onto the start finish straight they go. Imerio with a little bump. and Emerio. Oh, Michelle Rodriguez getting involved. They're going side by side down the start-finish straight, and Emerio with Alex Heller. Michelle's away and clear on all of them, on Keith Holt as well. Where did that pace come from, Michelle? He just managed to get 3 drivers on one straight alone. Michelle Rodriguez up into 6th position with Alex Heller and Emerio battling out for the positions behind. Who's that on the exit? The first corner that has crashed. It looks like it might be. Smells like we.
It is.
Oh, he's rejoining the track.
They'll add at the second Italian who's here.
Pier Domenico. Oh, it was Pier Domenico, and Smells Like We having an incident there. That's a real shame there. Both the drivers into the gravel, and I think Smells Like We is retiring. He is indeed, with too much damage, probably.
And Emerio return as well, spun in. I don't know the corner name now. It doesn't want to show on the straight, maybe out of
On one of the straights.
Borgo San Lorenzo and the straight to Casanova. He spun there.
Beautiful Italian pronunciations there, Spitslam. And we're going to jump to the lead battle because it is hotting up. Ryan Skywalker, the man with the bit between his teeth and the man with the point to prove. The championship holder, the championship defender, is trying to make his way past Isaac Garden. I think the move is going to be made very soon because Ryan is faster than Isaac. Last lap alone, Ryan with a 132.860, Isaac Gard with a 133.410. The move is surely going to be made into the first corner as the two drivers stream down the start-finish straight. Isaac Gard sticking himself just ahead of Ryan Skywalker behind them. Batham and Dennis Bosman are going side by side. Dennis Bosman trying to find a way past Batham. Ryan Skywalker is up the inside and he's through on Isaac Gard before the first corners even arrived. Beautiful move from Ryan Skywalker there on Isaac Gard to take the lead, and Dennis Bosman has managed to replicate that same move on Bathtub. So them two drivers now sat 3rd and 4th position. Bathtub in 4th. Dennis taking the position away from Bathtub. But Bathtub comes to fight back and he's getting a nose alongside as they head into the second chicane now. But just holding on to their position there, Dennis Bosman doesn't allow Bathtub a word in edgeways as they head down through Casanova into Savelli. Bathtub, yeah, holding on to 4th position for now, and the gaps are starting to open out. So these are the two closest drivers on track. The drivers are just settling into a rhythm. The only driver I can see moving is Max Newt 7, who's very close behind by now as they head through Savelli.
Max wants revenge. He wants more points.
He certainly does. He's going to need more points if he's going to hold on to this championship much longer, because he keeps having these very, very unfortunate moments in the races. Of course, he won the first race, so that's a good haul of points, but this one has not gone to plan so far. He's hunting down Bynar for 7th position. He's done a good recovery drive, all things considered, but look how battered and bruised his car is. That smashed windscreen. And this is about the early battle on track as well. The drivers are just settling into a rhythm, like I said. Bynar in 7th, Max 7. Oh, with a lunge!
Oh, and it's a crash.
It's a crash. The drivers come together. Max 7 manages to get himself back on track without too much damage dealt. But Bynar left in the gravel and he's now down into 11th position. Bynar, he's not going to be happy with that overtake at all. That was a serious lunge from Max 7 up the inside of the final corner. Did Bynar shut the door, or was that a move that was never going to happen there, Spitslam, do you think?
Know. The camera switched at the point, but I saw a dive bomb from Max, and I think that was the fall.
Max 7 trying to channel his inner Danny Kvyat with a torpedo-like move.
Maybe his inner Max Verstappen, even though that Bynar has the Max Verstappen livery of the Red Bull on the LMP car.
Henry Comsey has pulled into the pits. Again, Henry Comsey is out of this race, so that's going to be 0 points for Henry Comsey today, and that's a real shame for the driver that came into this race evening with 5 points between himself and Ryan Skywalker in 2nd position. So Henry, really hope he's able to sort out whatever issues he's been having today and he can get back racing shortly.
Well, he's back onto the track now.
He's just come back onto the track now, yeah.
You said he will go to racing shortly. He goes to racing right now.
Yeah, I
and there's... Who is that behind Bynar and Alex? It's a monster.
Oof.
Was it a blue flag car? And Alex gone to the gravel. That's a car that got blue flagged.
That's a shame there. Blue flag drivers getting involved in the racing, although we're no strangers to that, are we here? Eric Mandera has had a battle with Isaac Gard. Isaac Gard's now into 3rd position. He's hunting down Dennis Bosman for 2nd position. Meanwhile, Bathtub and Eric Jamandera duking it out for 4th as Bathtub manages to hold on to 4th position for now, just ahead of Eric Jamandera. Eric Jamandera, a very fast driver, and he's got a point to prove here as he needs to hunt down Ryan Skalka to prove that he's still got it, but he certainly hasn't still got it if he's getting all over the gravel like that. Behind Bathtub, he's not going to gain any time on him at all there through them corners as they head down through Savelli. Isaac Gard also gaining on Dennis Bosman, very close ahead of him. Up the crest, over the crest, and down into Scarparia chicane. Isaac Gard very close behind Dennis Bosman, and this lead-ish battle is hotting up towards the end of this race. We've got 6 minutes left, so about 2/3 of the way through. Is that Bathtub going slowly? It is! Bathtub going slowly, and that allows Eric Jamandera through into the Corintau hairpin, and Eric Jamandera's up into 4th position. Bathtub's going to have to settle for 5th position, doing his best Glock impression.
How many F1 basically, if you ask Adam how many F1 references do you want in a race, Adam will respond yes. he is that type of guy.
I'll be honest with you, me saying is that Bathtub going slowly was not even an intentional reference. That was genuine shock at the fact that Bathtub was going slowly out the corner. That just it came off the roll, it rolled off my tongue.
Commentator gene. Commentator.
You know what? It's just something in the British commentators.
We're all the same. We are all the same.
Exactly true. Isaac Gard in a podium position. This is a good place for him to be, and he's managed to fight himself up into that position, but he's dropped off the back of Dennis Bosman. Dennis Bosman's found a turn of pace, and he's decided that he's going to keep Ryan Skalka honest instead of fight for 3rd.
Okay, I don't know if you have, but I have a full map display. The top 5 are the closest people on track, besides, I think it's Keith and Max Snoot. Yeah. This is the largest group on track at the moment.
Which is...
Everybody else has giant gaps in between them.
I mean, this is great, and this is a testament to how tight the racing is. It is. It's a testament to how tight the racing has got in this community race series. You know, before we just see massive gaps open, but
how good the car is.
Well, maybe that, but I mean, it also goes to show that anyone can win any of these races.
Yeah,
really
true.
can. Ryan Skalka is not being allowed to run away with it. He is in the lead, but only by a second and a bit. And if you remember, Max only won the last race by a second and a bit as well, just ahead of Dennis Bosman. So Dennis, with a good haul of points today, because he's been doing very, very well and making a right name for himself. But for now, Ryan is holding on to first.
Large, and I mean large amount of slipstream.
There really is. You can see the time that the drivers gain down that start-finish straight. Of course, the start-finish straight here in Mugello has got to be one of the longest in Grand Prix racing, and you can really see the slipstream effect as the drivers are able to gain about half a second down the straight, as demonstrated by Richard Mandera here, because he's right up onto the back of Isaac Gard, and I'd written this battle off before because I thought Isaac Gard had managed to get away from him, but it just shows if you slip into the slipstream, you can really gain a serious amount of time on the driver ahead if you've got the kind of pace behind you.
A car from one of the most competitive LMP seasons that was ever, maybe in the history, except Ford versus Ferrari. Then these are one of the best cars to race with. Slipstream, downforce, everything. 2014 season, if I'm right.
Yeah,
sure.
Certainly. These LMP cars are beautiful cars to drive, and they are beautiful cars to race. And Eric Mandera there, moving himself up past Isaac Gard into the podium position. So that was a really nice move through the Corintau hairpin. Before the Biondettis even started, Isaac Gard just managed to lose a bit of grip on the exit of the corner, a bit of understeer, and then he kind of had to snap himself out of it, and that allowed Eric Mandera to move up the inside because it pushed him wide. So Eric Mandera up into 3rd position as his driver leaving the pits there. It's Woodcrest Dragon. He's not going to get involved in the battle for the lead. Fortunately, he's going to retire back to the pits. And I was worried that he was going to get involved there. And that's the battle for 3rd over. Keith isn't allowing Max to run away with it. Max is stuck in 7th, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Does he have damage? I don't think he has.
I think Max is just struggling
he's
with
running
it
away on the straight. If you know how to get the last corner right, you are getting fast, and I mean super fast through that first corner. They just need to brake right for the second corner, not to lock the tires up, so you save a little bit of the tires. This is how you race these cars, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly true. Especially this track, the last corner is so imperative because that start finish straight is so long that if you mess up the final corner, you're losing 10, 20 kilometers an hour down the straight to the guy behind, aren't you?
You are.
And I mean, that's just been to prove because Keith did not have an optimal last corner there, and this gap between Keith and Max has gone from 0.2 seconds to 2.6 in about 5 corners, which is just crazy. It's crazy. But I mean, again, that's the nature of the circuit. That's how Mugello is.
Bathtub slowing down, or he is falling off, or I think he is slowing down because Michelle is catching up to him really fast. Does he have damage or some sort? Because he's slowing down, Michelle is catching up really fast to him. His gap was less than 1 second. Now it's 6 seconds to Isaac God.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened to Bathtub there. I think he must have had a trip to the gravel because you don't lose 5 seconds just by unless he has slowed down intentionally as well. But I don't see why he would. But Michelle Rodriguez now is onto the back of Bathtub. He's going to be pressuring him right to the end with 15 seconds left. It's going to be this lap and one more for the drivers. And another man under pressure is Dennis Bosman. Down into the Cervelli compression and through Arrabbiata 1 and 2. Eric Bandera is on the back of Dennis Bosman and he's really keeping him honest here. Dennis is going to have to fight for his life for this last lap and a half if he wants to stay ahead of Eric Bandera because we know how fast Eric is. And we know the kind of pace that Eric can get off that final corner and get down the start-finish straight. So is the move going to be made this lap or is it going to be made next lap? What are we saying?
It can be this lap if, as we said, he gets the final turn right. There might be a chance, or if he even gets, it starts here. Into the Biondetti, just keep the slipstream as well as you can. Maybe try to dive bomb. Not really the best option you have, but maybe try to dive bomb, get a large apex on how Eric Semendar did, and get just the speed, get the slipstream through the straight. Just get as much speed as you can. Found right behind the tail, doing. Someone watched the cars over here, and Eric is in front of David Bosman into the first turn.
Yeah, beautiful move from Eric Schmidera there on Dennis Bosman out of the final corner. Like you said, the move was on from the exit of the Corinthian hairpin. Yeah, the move begins there, and you have to just line it up. You have to keep in the slipstream, and then, like you say, you don't make a dive bomb in the final corner. Max Newt 7. You line it up, you make the exit work, and then you make the move into the first corner, just as Eric Tremendera did with the slipstream, and just as Ryan Skywalker did on Henry Comsey, who is a backmarker. But Ryan Skywalker's actually battling away with Henry Comsey now, although he's kind of ahead of him now and cleared away from him. So the blue flags didn't matter too much. In the end, Henry Comsey able to get out of the way. And onto the final lap, Mr. Skywalker, Ryan Montoya in the West McLaren, hasn't had much screen time because he's just been leading from the front. And he's showing us all how to race. What's this?
Oh, Eric is just running away with it right now. That shows you how much pace you can actually get out of these cars.
Certainly, especially if you just know how to activate everything in his car, you can really run away with it. And Eric is securing this second position. He didn't have to secure it for too long because he made the move on the penultimate lap. And here we go, round the final corner for the final time tonight in the Audi R18 at Mugello. It's a swerve left, it's a swerve right, it's a flash of the lights for Ryan Skywalker as he heads across the start-finish line to win the second race of the night and close the championship gap up at the front. Who on earth is upside down in the start-finish straight? I don't know what happened there, but there was a driver doing flips. Eric Schmidera is finished in second position. Dennis Bosman has to settle for third after losing out on second position on the penultimate lap. Isaac Gard was in lofty heights and then dropped down, but he's had a fantastic fight back, finishing fourth with Bathtub. 2 fifth-place finishes, a great night for him. Michelle Rodriguez in 6th for the second time tonight as well. And then Max Newt 7, just crossing the line now in 7th position. Not the best second race for him out overall. He managed to finish first in the first race, but wasn't able to unlock that pace into the second one. With Keith finishing 8th, Bynar in 9th, Alex Heller in 10th, potentially 11th. What were you going to say, Spitzlam?
Do you know who almost got lapped by Brian at the end of the race? The guy that was getting blue flags.
Who was that?
It was Henry Comsey.
Yes, it was Henry Comsey. He was getting involved in the blue flags at the end. He was a few laps down because of his trip to the pits. So so as we were watching Eric Rendera make the move on Dennis Bosman, Henry got overtaken by Ryan. That's where the move happened. It was a 2x2 battle, Spitzlam. You're not watching the screen. Come on. Come on.
I'm watching the main battle for second and third. I am not watching a in back marker being overtaken when there's a battle happening
You're telling
on the
me.
track
You're telling
in
me
the
you
same
don't.
moment.
You're telling me you don't expect chaos when there's a back marker involved in a track time community
I
race.
do,
You
but-
must be lying.
Oh, look. He's just doing an Eric. That's how I'm going to call it. He is protesting to finish in the race.
Henry Comsey, yeah, not happy at all. It would be good to hear from him about
During
what
the
happened. I'm
Eric.
sure we can talk to him at the end of the evening. In the meantime, let's abduct Ryan Skywalker and see what he's got to say. Ryan Skywalker, he's been abducted. How are you doing, Ryan? How would you feel?
They see me rolling.
Good is the answer from Ryan Skywalker there then, as he finishes in first position in the second race and a good finish in the first race. But you had a awful start in the first race, didn't you, mate? What happened there?
Normally, I put my brake bias a lot forward before I go on track, and I completely forgot about that in the start of the first race. I only realized it at turn 3, and then it was too late, and then I spun.
That's a real shame for you there, but you fought back really well in the first race and still took on a decent amount of points. And I'm sure you'll have been happy to look at the scoreboard and see that Max did not do very well in the second race, though.
Woohoo! That's so sad, man. Sorry, Max.
That was so heartfelt. That was so heartfelt.
That's
No, I really
not
do feel
right.
bad. I know it sucks that if you like don't finish or you crash it, it's very frustrating. So, do you know what happened to him?
Just wasn't able to activate the car in the last race. I think he was struggling after a battle with Keith Holt. I think he had a little bit of a damage. He did get crashed into so I think he was managing a bit of damage and just wasn't able to make the moves happen.
I had a close call into turn 1 in the second race. I took a chance. I didn't know if they were going to close the door on me, but it paid off.
Well, it certainly did, and you won the race, and that's going to put the gap between yourself and Max at the top of the championship. It's going to put it a little bit smaller, which is exactly what you want to see, isn't it?
Baby steps, baby steps.
Speaking of which, let's grab Max now. I'll try and abduct him. Max, how's it going, mate? How do you feel after winning one race, at least?
Yeah, it was nice to win at least one race.
Yeah, what happened in the second race? You seem to struggle there.
Yeah, I got crash hit in Arrabiata.
The tough name.
Yeah, in fact we did see you get crashed into there. I think you got crashed into by Smells Like We, and something happened. Someone just put you around, and was it just damage that meant you couldn't get up to pace?
Yes, it was badly damaged my car after that.
That's a real shame, because you fought fantastically in the first race, and you led from the front and just showed us exactly how to do it. But still, it's a win, and it's an 8th place, which is still points. But I think the gap between yourself and Ryan is coming down at the head of the field. So, I mean, for us, it's getting exciting. I'm sure for you two, it's getting quite nervy.
Flashbacks.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe flashbacks to last season. But there you go. 2 race winners today, Max 7 and Ryan Skywalker. I don't have too many more questions for you guys. We talked to you too much. You're too successful. But yeah, well, good racing from yourselves, guys. Do you have any last questions, Spitzlam?
No, I don't.
Oh, good.
We
Well,
know what's next week.
we do indeed.
We do? Yeah.
I'm going to announce it at the end of the stream. You can watch the stream. Right, I'll catch you later, Ryan and Max, and I'm sure we'll
Yes,
speak to
mate.
you next week.
Thanks. Bye.
Have a
See you
nice
guys. Abduct them not there. I'm going to abduct Henry Comsey quickly. One last guy to speak to. Henry, hiya. I'm just going to bring you in here to have a chat with you. What happened today?
Yeah. Okay. My screen went black. There was some shattering and then it went black.
Oh, that is very weird. We saw your car puff out some black smoke. We thought there was some issues, but that's a real shame for you there. Was that technical issues in the game or in your setup?
Probably my TV. It's pretty old.
Ah, okay. Well, there you go. That was all I wanted to ask you. I just wanted to check in. But back at it next week, I hope. You can come back and not have the same problems.
Yeah, I hope so.
Fingers crossed, mate. Well, I'll put you back in general so you can chat with Eric and Bathtub. But good to hear from you, Henry. And hopefully next week we'll be speaking to you as a winner.
Yeah, thank you.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Well, there you go. Quick word from Henry Comsey there. It's a real shame for him tonight as technical issues dropped him back to 2 pointless finishes. We finished today's racing, and that concludes us at Mugello. And like I just teased Ryan, next week I do know what the winner is. And I can happily announce that next week we're going to be racing the KTM Crossbow at Cadwell Park, which, fan favourite, Cadwell, we mentioned it the other week at Oulton.
We mentioned it.
It is a crazy circuit. It's truly crazy. It's so tight. It's so hilly. You thought Mugello was a roller coaster. Cadwell is a roller coaster. Going up the mountain section is mental, and the racing should be very interesting. I'm sure it'll be very bumpy, and we'll have some chaos ensuing. But Cadwell is one of them proper circuits. It's proper tight. It's I can't wait for next week, especially because I was at Cadwell yesterday in person. So I've got fresh experience. I know exactly what it's like there. I can still smell the rubber in the air. It's still inhaling my nostrils. So it's going to be Cadwell next week. It's going to be some KTMs, which are a great car to drive. And I am looking forward to this week's worth of Hot Lap Challenge. Are you looking forward to next week's, Spitzlum? I hope you're going to be here for it.
Oh, yeah, next week I'm still here. But after next week, I'm going on a trip.
All right.
And I will not be here.
Well, that's okay. Next week's Cadwell, and that's what matters. This is going to be the highlight race of the season. I can't wait for it. I love Cadwell. So
your voice, you're just so.
Oh, can you feel the smile? Can you feel the smile on my face?
Yes, I can. It's disturbing.
Well, there we go. That concludes it for the day's racing. I'm going to end it there with that announcement, and yeah, very happy to see you next week at Cadwell Park in the KTM Crossbows. It'll be this time next week. We'll see you there from myself, Adam Chapman, and Spitzlum alongside me. Ta-ra.